Hello everyone. Now I told you guys all in my video, my last video that I had some sad news. On Friday of last week, my daughter had told me that Patch's blood is really, really dark red. And I'm like, well, that's not good. So I called in to the vet to see if I can get him in. They said, yeah, at 3:20, I can come in. No, 2:20. And we could come in. And I'm like, okay. Well, we get in there and we were telling the vet what was going on. Excuse me. We were telling the vet what was going on with Patches. And they wanted a pee sample. And, well, I didn't bring no pee sample because I didn't have anything to put it in. And, well, when I went there, or when we went there, this one nurse comes in and vet comes in and she says, well, I'm going to take him out for a walk so we can get him to do a pee sample. I'm like, okay. And we waited and waited and waited and waited. And, oops. And finally the nurse comes in and, or no, not the nurse, the doctor, the veterinarian, the guy came in and he introduced himself to us and he said, I hear Patches isn't feeling well. And I'm like, yeah, he's peeing blood. It's a really dark red, like brown, almost brown. And he says, well, he was, asking all these other questions like, well, did anything happen to him? Did he fall or, fall or anything? And I said, no, he didn't fall. And he says, when did this start? Well, I kind of told him a fib and said it was, started on Thursday, which it started in December. I didn't want to take him in because we didn't have the money at that time. So, we got in. He says, well, what we're going to do is I'm going to test him. We're going to give him a ultrasound and we're going to test and do a test into his bladder to see why he's bleeding. So that was a while, and we waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. We waited a good half hour, I would say. And the nurse comes in and says, well, the vet's going to, doctor or whatever his name was, I don't remember what his name was exactly, he's coming in and he's going to show you the results. And I thought, yeah, it's not going to be good. And he comes in and he's explaining everything. And he showed us one that I wish he would have never said it to me or showed me because it made me cry. I broke down. And he says Patches has got cancer, bladder cancer. And it's trisenative. Oh, I can't even think. I wrote it down. It's a transnational sarcoma. It's a fast-acting cancer. So then me and my daughter started crying like I'm doing right now. And we couldn't believe it. And the vet says, just keep an eye on him. Watch when he goes pee. If he doesn't pee, bring him in. And he told us that he might only have 2 weeks to live. And I wasn't happy about that. He's only 10 years old. And I'm like, man, I'm going to miss my boy. So now it's a waiting game. A waiting game on him. Excuse me, guys. A waiting game on him. Sorry, guys. A waiting game on him. Now, he said that if Patches completely stops peeing, you need to bring him in. And he says then that will tell you that it's time to let him go. I was not happy about what he said. I'm like, man, I love this dog. I know I get too attached to them. I mean, they got him on some pills. They're a steroid pill. And the vet said that'll stop the cancer from growing that fast. But it's in his bladder. That's what I'm afraid of. So every time he goes outside to go to the bathroom, I have to check to make sure he's peeing. So all weekend I was crying. My daughter was crying. And I know that dogs don't live as long as we do. But for him, I taught that dog everything I could teach him when he was just a puppy. Taught him to beg, I taught him to speak, taught him to turn around, lay down, all this. For them to tell me that that cancer that he has is fast acting. I didn't want to hear that results because it reminded me of my mother. And I watched her die. But they told us that my mom would live only a year, which was true. Now Patches has got cancer, and that's nothing we can do for him now. And it scares me because he was supposed to go in sometime this year to get his teeth cleaned. And I know when a dog has cancer, or anybody that has cancer cannot tolerate surgery, because you're opening up something that could spread. I hate crying. That's all I've been doing. I love my little guy. But I know when he dies, I'm gonna get him cremated. And then I'm gonna get some of his ashes and make a necklace out of it. Or they're gonna make a necklace out of it. Just the remembrance of my dog. 'Cause he's a sweet old guy. I really am gonna miss him when he goes. My nose was so sore all Saturday because I was blowing my nose all the time. Excuse me again, guys. And all that. So when I lay next to him at night, I can hear him. He whimpers. He kind of like whimpers in his sleep. I don't know if that's pain. I don't know what it is, but I always have to feel to make sure he's still breathing. On top of having a bad heart, Patches has got cancer now. I told my daughter, she asked me, she says, Mom, she says, are we going to get another dog? Well, at that time, I says, I don't know. I says, I don't know right now. And we were kind of looking in online for, dogs. And they want so darn much for them. And I hate to say this, but I picked out a dog that I want. And she is a miniature, well, actually a teacup Yorkie. It's going to be a very tiny dog. And I don't know when Patches is going to go. I don't know. Doctor said 2 weeks, maybe. Tops. That's not enough time for me. I've been giving him a lot of loving. Taking care of him like I'm supposed to. And I know he's going to go to a good place. But I'll just keep him in memories. I knew it was bad news when he came in with the ultrasound machine to show us pictures. I knew there was something wrong. I'm bawling. Cassandra's bawling. Didn't have Kleenex. Didn't grab any Kleenex. They had Kleenex there, but the Kleenex is very, very thin. So when he left to fill his medicine that they were going to give him, we grabbed some Kleenexes and we blew our nose and our tears away. And when we came home on Friday, I had to tell a couple of my friends, it is so hard to tell them that I'm not going to have a dog very long. I'm going to miss him dearly. He's been a good dog. My daughter says, well, you getting another dog like him? And I'm like, no, because there'd be too many memories of him, and I can't do that. Damn it. My nose just keeps running. And I don't know what I'm going to do when that day comes. Because they want me to bring Patches in so they give him a shot to put him down. And I don't want that done. I want him to die here at home. I can't go in. I wouldn't be able to go in there when they put the needle in his vein and dies. I can't do that. I'd be more crushed. I love that dog so damn much. And it just breaks my heart. I thought this year was going to be a good year. But it's not. I kept telling myself I didn't want to cry, but I can't help it. I just miss this dog so much. And both of my friends, they said sorry to hear about it. And they're with me. They call me every day to see how I'm doing.